I was having a discussion with someone today when you remind me about the great Chinua Achebe. Not too many of us have take time to follow this man history. A great writer, a great historian, someone who promote Igbo culture so much. Someone who have so many quotes that affect life. When you follow Chinua Achebe's quote, in fact, you will begin to reason more about what life is all about. Someone who questions even the white man, maybe the church, the church appearance or the church manipulative of some Igbo culture. Chinua Achebe is someone who many people believe that he deserved the Nobel Prize that Shoyinka won. Have you ever take your time to read about Chinua Achebe? Someone who have given a lot of literatures that brings so much joy to millions of people beyond Africa. Someone who writes unbiased, someone who brought so much of light. I don't know if you are reading some of his book like Things Fall Apart, and a lot of quotes from him. A lot of authors have borrowed some literature from his works. Chinua Achebe remained one of the greatest that Africa have ever had, and the greatest that Nigeria have ever had too. A great man, a man of philosophy, a man that believed that through his literature, a lot of story can be told. A man that used quotes that touches the heart. Whenever you look at his quotes, you begin to reason deeply about yourself, about your existence, about your belief, your culture, and your view of things in life. Chinua Achebe is not just only a mere writer like Soyinka. He is an inspirer, someone who inspired a lot of literatures, even movies in Africa. A man of eloquency, a man that stands during the test of time. People knows on record that Chinua Achebe openly support the Biafran state or the Biafran nation in 1968 before he went to America. Chinua Achebe, even without his, presence, still far away supports the full independence of Biafra. How many of you today can think about him? In Igbo land today, we do not have anything to show the legacy of Chinua Achebe. In our constitution, our universities, our homes, our streets, there's no thing to show about Chinua Achebe. I know he's originated from Anambra, Ugidi to be precise, but there's no museum in Anambra that comes to tell people about Chinua Achebe so that around the world they can come in and see the great work he's doing. People like this bring so much money to a nation, to a country, to a state for tourism. All the government have to do is to build foundation, collect his literatures and some of his tape and bring it there. People around the world will come over. All they have to do again is to promote and make sure their security is there and make sure also that around the vicinity there's normal thing people need like coffee, where to eat and things like that. And it's kept clean. Not hawker, it's kept clean. That's how Western world generate money. Everything is not about trying to steal the oil money or things like that. It's about creativity. This man have given us so much. To me, is the best in the world. When you look at the way he writes Things Fall Apart, The Arrow of God, and some of his great novels that many of us read today. If you have not read this thing and you're from anywhere in the world, make sure you read Things Fall Apart and The Arrow of God. That when you go deep and understand how the world functioned before the colonial masters came in. You also understand how the people of Africa perceive the colonial era. You also understand the resistance of Igbos and how the Igbos function. This man have taught many of us the history that the country refused to tell us. Guys, what do you think about Chinua Achebe? Do you read anything about him? Let's know this. We need to make this thing go viral so that we can also build things to some of our great Igbos. Igbos, we should stop allowing people to write our history for us. We need to start writing our own history on those that bring such a great input in our land, or those that support the liberation of our people. We know that Igbos are people that always stand for honesty. They always stand for entrepreneurship. They always stand for industrial nation. They always stand for opportunity for everyone. But unfortunately, sometimes we allow the outside influence to poison our mind, where we begin to pick and cherry among ourselves. A great man like Chinua Achebe said that the lion never made it until he made his own history by also what? Reincarnating his own self by giving pop to his own kid. It's a great saying by Chinua Achebe. A lot of quotes that I put here, that when you go through it, you will understand this scholar. It's also debatable that why he did not get a Nobel Prize. People say Chinua Achebe was so down by the fight of Biafra and refused to acknowledge anything to do with Nobel Prize, why they are killing his people. But today, many of our big men are happy, reaping the one they are giving him in the expense of their people, on the vulnerable ones among. So Igbos begin to segregate. You are from here, you are this. If it me and my family are okay, no problem. But when something happened to you, you start calling on Igbos. Let's emulate some of those written of Chinua Achebe. And the way he also bring up Cyprian Ekwensu and others, that even when he travel to America, he goes with them. He understands that they are not bara. Guys, be wise. Tell me what you think about Chinua Achebe. Do you think that we deserve to build museum and acknowledge him in all our literature in Igbo state, in Igbo land, and make him the legend he is? Because he's a man that brings so much, not only to us, but to worldwide Africa. But other African cannot do it when we fold our hand and refuse to acknowledge him. We need to stand up and acknowledge him. Let me know what you think. Ta.